Yes. Hello everyone and welcome dear all in mathematics class here, and today we are going to study the topic fractions. We will see some of the types of fractions such as decimal fractions, vulgar fractions, proper fractions and improper fractions. Also we will consider the addition and additions of fractions. Okay, so now let us start here. You can see the term fraction. So how we can define it, that fraction represents equal part of a whole or a collection. That means it represents the equal part of a whole or a collection. It can be defined like this also. In other words, that number of the form a by b, where a and b are whole numbers, but the denominator b cannot be equal to 0. Such numbers are only called fractions. For example, 2 by 5, 7 by 15, 9 by 7, these numbers are in the form of fractions, because here the numerator and denominators are the whole numbers, but the denominator is not equal to 0. Now some of the types of fractions that we will see. First of all, decimal fractions. Okay, so this we can say that a fraction whose denominator is any of the numbers 10, 100, 1000, etc. Such numbers, any of the numbers like this 10, 100, 1000, etc. is called a decimal fractions. Okay, such as 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, where the first digit should be 1 and after that only 0 should repeat. Okay, such numbers are only called the decimal fractions. By example, you can understand 3 by 10, 29 by 100. Here you can see 29 by 100, 37 by 1000, 37 by 1000. So these type of numbers are decimal fractions, where the denominator are in the form of 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, etc. Okay, now the vulgar fraction. Actually it is just opposite of that decimal fraction. So you can see a fraction whose denominator is a whole number other than 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, etc. is called a vulgar fraction, such as 3 by 7, 2 by 5, 5 by 19. These numbers are in the form of vulgar fractions because denominators are not in the form of 10, 100, 1000, etc. Okay, now you have to see proper fractions. What are these? Where the numerator is less than its denominator. So you can say a fraction whose numerator is less than its denominator. Such numbers are only called the proper fractions. Example, you can see 3 by 7, this 2 by 9, okay, 8 by 15. Here in this 8 by 15, you can see 8 is less than 15. That means the numerator, upside number is numerator here, and the downside number written, that is denominator. So the numerator is less than the denominator. So this is a proper fraction. Then you have to understand the improper fraction. So in improper fraction, it is just opposite of the proper fraction, meaning is that a fraction whose numerator is more than or equal to its denominator, then it is a improper fraction. Means numerator can be equal or greater than, equal or more than the denominator, then such numbers are improper fractions, such as 7 by 3, 15 by 8, 9 by 4 and 13 by 8. In all these numbers, the numerator is greater than the denominator. It can be also possible that numerator and denominators are equal, because here it is given that a fraction whose numerator is more than or equal to its denominator is called an improper fraction. Then now you have to understand the addition of fractions. First we will see where the denominators are same, that means the additions of like fractions. So for that we can understand this, that for adding two like fractions, the numerator are added and the denominator remains the same. That means the denominator will be unchanged, it remains the same. So example, this 2 by 9 and 5 by 9. Here both the denominators are 9, then the denominator will be 9 only at their numerators. So 2 plus 5 by 9 means it is 7 by 9. Okay, actually it is 9 denominator, it is written, it is LCM of the denominators only. So the sum is simple, that add the numerators and divide by the common denominator, because denominator remains the same. So this way the answer is 7 by 9 here. Now addition of unlike fractions. So for that, first of all we have to understand that for addition of unlike fractions, first change them into like fractions and then add them. That means first change them into like fractions. So for that, for example, this 13 by 14, you have to add to 27 by 35. So here the denominators are different, 14 and 35. So first we will find the LCM of the denominators 14 and 35, which is 70. Okay, now convert both the given fractions into its equivalent form where the denominator is 70. Then like this we can do, 14 into 5 is 70, therefore the numerator also multiply with 5, because the numerator and denominator should be multiplied with the same number. Now here 35 into 2 is 70, therefore the numerator also multiply with 2, that is 27 into 2 is 54. So the numbers are 65 by 70 and 54 by 70. These two numbers we have to add now. So therefore we can write that 13 by 14 plus 27 by 35 is equals to 65 by 70 plus 54 by 70. So now they are like fractions, so we can add their numerators and divide the sum by the common denominator here. So 65 plus 54 by 70. That means now the denominator remains unchanged, because they have the same denominator now. So 64 plus 54, here it is 119 by 70. Okay, so now this way you can complete the exercise 2.1 of NCERT. Okay, based on these topics you will revise nicely whatever I have explained here. So thank you all of you and have a nice day.